Let me go ahead and set up real quick, you guys. Since I am doing this solo today, I am going to be taking just a little bit of time just to kind of set up here. Just give me 1 second. All right. And let me just go ahead and just copy this here. Actually, uploading this right now to our Patreon. So just bear with me just 1 second. Perfect. Sweet. Cool. All right. That takes care of this. And other than that, welcome you guys to our live review, which we're going to be talking about. This is going to be the last episode of She-Hulk, which is going to be episode number 9, which is called Whose Show Is This? Welcome, my name's Efren. I'm your host, and today we are going to be doing our live review, like I mentioned. I watched it yesterday. I just didn't have enough time to be able to jump on and do the live review. So as you guys saw on our community, which we are trying to post frequently, as we are going to be jumping on live or doing reaction videos or posting videos, we are definitely going to be using the community. So that's a great tool to be able to get into all of the information of what's going to be happening. So other than that, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, it comes down to this last episode, which is going to be the last episode on the first season of She-Hulk. Now, throughout the whole season, overall, I gotta say that there's been 3 episodes throughout the whole season that actually piqued my interest, which was episode 1, episode 8, and 9. The rest of them were all basically like fillers and weren't really necessarily as interesting as I thought it would be. So I do hope that in the future, if the second season does happen to come out, I hope they have new writers to be able to, create better scripts, better on everything involving, because it kind of seemed like they wanted to go into like a comedy type show. However, during that time, some of these jokes weren't really that funny, so it kind of was just on the they try to be funny, they weren't that funny, but overall within the last, let's say, 9 episodes, just 3 episodes really were talking about the arch of the story, which that's why it kind of got a lot of blowbacks when it came down to a lot of people saying, hey, it's not a great show, and those who were basically trying to say, yeah, it's a really great show, they basically were saying, oh, you guys are just sellouts. But we here at Crown Gambit, we like to go ahead and give you guys a true opinion based on the show and the episodes. So this is basically what I wanted to go ahead and talk about. I want to talk about the last episode and the overall show. But before we actually do get started, I definitely want to go ahead and give a special shout out to our Crown Knights, to our Patreon members. Thank you so much, Jason Beltran and Invincible, for supporting us on Crown Gambit on our Patreon. And those who are subscribers and are joining us, thank you so much for joining us, for being a part of it, for subscribing, for having a basically give us a reason to continue our work and continue our what we like to enjoy to do. So this is gonna be the 9th episode, which is called "Whose Show Is This?" I really kind of, this episode overall was a kind of like a 70% that I really enjoyed it, and that's only because there was a lot of fourth wall breaking. Um, but we will be talking about that. First, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about, like, as far as the introduction of the last episode was really cool because it kind of brought back memories of the Incredible Hulk of 1978. It was basically exactly almost the same as how it was. So for those that kind of watched the Incredible Hulk back in the 70s, can basically like laugh it off and be like, hey, you know what, this is funny because that's exactly what happened in the 70s. That was just like the introduction of it. So it was really cool to be able to see, She Hulk have that kind of moment, and then when she transforms and they make like, you don't want to make me angry, and it's just funny, overall. But that was really cool for them to make a little callback on that. So for those that have not watched it, go back and watch like the introduction of the Incredible Hulk of 1978, the show, and you guys will see exactly what we're talking about, which was pretty cool. To be able to do that, I don't know, Aubrey Freely. We were having a conversation about this last night because I guess he got off of work and he was watching the episode while he was driving back home from work, and we kind of had a little discussion in regards towards the episode itself, and a lot of good topic, a lot of good things came out of it. One of them was also talking about certain things that we will be discussing, as we get into it, because I definitely don't want to be going around switching from one thing to another. But let's go ahead and basically also talk about this the episode in regards towards the episode itself. It kind of does suck for Jen, the fact that just her raging once basically made her like public enemy number one, which kind of shows, and it goes back to Bruce on episode number one, where he kind of tells her like, hey, you got to learn to control your emotions. Don't let the best, don't let your emotions get the best out of you, because when that happens, consequences can occur. You're not just Jennifer anymore. You are also a She-Hulk. And She-Hulk is very powerful. She's strong. And she can be scary at times for other individuals. And it could basically make her look bad. And that's exactly what happened. Like, she put herself in a position where she ends up getting arrested. She goes on probation. She ends up losing her job. She ends up losing her place and moves back to her parents' house, and she just goes through a spiral of like bad shit that's just going on in her life, that's just all over one mistake, which was someone causing her to emotionally distress herself to go crazy and ape shit. And that's exactly what happened to her in this episode. So, and it was just funny that the fact that she ends up having to make the choice to go to Blonsky, to Emil Blonsky, and say, hey, you know what, I want to be able to go back there and kind of tap in with him, and basically just talk about like how is it that you control your emotions, like basically just have a conversation, someone that she can relate to, because the fact that both of them were on house arrest. So she ends up going, and then she has good friends who I basically were trying to go and find out exactly who was it that who is this Hulk King. Later we find out, who King was, which is Todd Phillips, the billionaire guy who was on Tinder date, who ends up running into She-Hulk or Jennifer. So that was basically the trip overall. I honestly thought it was gonna be Josh, the guy that she hooked up with. Turned out that Todd was the one who just hired him to get all the information and get a sample of the blood. Also, he can become Hulk, in quote unquote Hulk. But I thought that not everybody can just become Hulk. I don't think that you could just grab the actual blood with the gamma ray and just put it on yourself and become a Hulk itself. I would think you would have to have a specific type of DNA or blood to be able to be compatible with it, or else it would kill you. I mean, let me know what you guys think on the comment section below. If you guys think that anybody can do it, like why wouldn't the government just grab the Hulk and just grab a bunch of gamma ray and just become and make a bunch of super soldier, a bunch of Hulks, which is pretty crazy if that were to happen, because I know that's what they did with the serum, the super soldier serums. Um, but yeah, I mean, as you guys saw throughout the episode, she ends up having to break the fourth wall by jumping into the Disney and going into different universes, which was pretty interesting enough, because the only characters that I know that are able to do that would be dead, or not able to just jump into different universes, but I mean, as far as being able to connect with the audience and engage with the audience, and be able to know that this is happening. It's basically, besides She-Hulk, it's also Deadpool. But as you see that Jen or She-Hulk starts going into different universe, or basically different shows, it kind of brings back like a little bit of a callback of not sure if you guys know of a fictional character called Gwenpool, who is basically was made up to a person who her name is Gwenpool, aka the Pink Slayer, who is able to jump into different universes, MC universes, or MCU, or the Marvel universes, and create and change different things, which is crazy enough because I believe in, and I'm looking and doing research, and I see that other people are also thinking that there is a possibility that this might introduce Gwenpool, aka the Pink Slayer. And there's a possibility that if there is a second season of She-Hulk, that she might actually come out. Gwenpool might actually come out, and it's funny enough because Gwenpool, she actually hates Deadpool, but she kind of looks like Deadpool in a way with her little katana and her guns, which is funny enough. But if that were to be the case, if Gwen were to actually come out, or they do a live, um, and they actually bring her to life, then that would be pretty cool. To be able to watch that, because then now she can go into different universes or different shows and join them, and then that'll be pretty crazy, because then let's say she jumps into a Loki show and then goes through an episode through that, or jumps into a, as far as like a Wanda and Vision or something like that. That would actually be pretty dope in itself, to be able to do that. And but yeah, there's a lot of speculations going around that might actually happen. So if it does, that would actually be a very interesting and a lot of fourth wall breaking. Which is really cool to be able to know that you're connecting with your audience, and the fact that She-Hulk was able to connect with her makers. That was pretty cool in itself, because she was able to connect with Gal and a couple other writers, and she even got to connect with Kevin Feige, which is funny, that was an actual AI robot of of Kevin Feige, and the fact that he was able to make modifications to the show, that was actually pretty interesting enough, that he was able to do that. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but I know Aubrey and I were talking about this, when Kevin actually said it. Yeah, I mean, we can talk, we can discuss it. However, can you transform back to Jennifer, because CGI is very expensive, and we're not really trying to spend too much money, while you're here. So if you can, tone it down back to Jennifer, then we'll greatly appreciate it. Which is funny, because we all know that CGI is, to be able to do a lot of CGI, it does cost money. So it was just a little funny callback, just to say that, while they were actually jumping on. So yeah, that was just pretty cool in itself. But other than that, I mean, the episode itself was pretty cool. It was interesting. It definitely was not like any like real Hulk smash. It wasn't more of a fighting type. Last episode, it was that happened only like for a few minutes, and that's when everything was going crazy. When Todd transformed, then you have Hulk, Bruce come out. Then you have Blonsky and Bruce that were going at it, and it was just becoming a shit show. And she just basically decided to change her narrative, and that was pretty interesting in itself. What else do we want to talk about here? Besides that, I mean, the episode was interesting, but the overall show, I gotta say, like, just episode 1, 8, and 9 were just, to me, the ones that were really interesting enough to be able to watch the show and really say, you know what, it was well worth watching the whole season, because the rest of them to me were just like fillers for the episodes that really had, some of these episodes had no point in the for the show itself. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. What you guys' thoughts are on that. Honestly, this episode I give it a 7 out of 10. But the overall show, I still give it, I would say, maybe like a 5.5, almost 6 out of 10. If there is a second season and they do bring in different writers, and if they really want to take it to like a comedy, they actually want to head out there, then I would say let them do that. That would be dope if they do that and they actually change different writers and they actually make it like how She-Hulk was intended to be. Now, we do have a comment here by Sonia Pantoja. Hey, Sonia Pantoja, Hi, how are you? She wrote, "Hi there, Crown Gambit. It's me, Sonia, Priscilla Pantoya, and I'm here with my cat, Belle, and I'm drying her off because me and Malaki, we gave her a bath. Nice. Give that one a bath right there. I actually gotta also give my dogs a bath as well, man. I haven't gotten them, and I haven't actually washed them or bathed them in like maybe I would say 4 or 5 days. So it's time for me to do that. I got two dogs. I actually have one little small dog. It's a mixed dog, and I also have a big dog as well, who's a pit bull, half is it is it French is it half pit bull and half bulldog or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but he's left. They're definitely always they're cool. I love my dogs. I always like to walk them. Actually, overall, I love all animals in itself. I definitely enjoy every type of animal. My favorite type of animal is actually a wolf, which is the dog pack overall. So Sonia, if are cats your favorite type of animals, or what is your favorite type of animal? Let me know. Greatly would appreciate hearing that from you. But getting back to She-Hulk, um, I gotta say the whole thing with Kevin Feige was pretty interesting. Like the dialogue between the two of them, because you kind of picture like if She-Hulk was really having a dialogue with Kevin, and Kevin's just like, well, I kind of wrote this off here, so if you want to change it, we can edit this here, we can edit that, we can do whatever you want. This is your show, as long as we can keep it between the borderlines of what we basically or what he basically wants to be able to accommodate, to allow. You know what I'm saying? Because I know overall he makes a lot of decisions based on that. So it's like visuals, everything. It's all comes down to him, and been very successful at doing that. Especially with the Avengers, the End Games, like all of that. It's just been so amazing, thanks to Kevin, to be able to see that, and it's really interesting enough to finally get like him in the MCU. And by the way, I don't know if you guys thought, but Hulk's son, Scar, kind of looks like Kevin. Like I don't know if you guys, if I'm tripping, if I'm blind or something, or my eyes were just like giving me an illusion, but he kind of had the little face composure of Kevin Feige, and when I saw that, I told that to Aubrey, and Aubrey's like, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. I was like, yeah, like dude, kind of look at him and look at a picture and just put it two to two, and it kind of looks like him. So if you guys think the same, let me know. He doesn't believe like or this. It's not like he doesn't believe, but he this was something that we were kind of talking and discussing about yesterday as well. So that was pretty interesting. If it is, that would be funny to have Scar become um, Kevin in itself. Which, by the way, if you guys don't know, Scar, he's like he actually comes from the planet Sakara, where Hulk. And that's exactly we're not exactly sure when was it that Hulk actually went to planet Sakaar, because after the blip, it was like I would say 6 to 8 years or something, like 6 years I would say that's happened where he traveled to Sakaar or before the blip, because it had to be after the blip. It couldn't possibly be before the blip, or I wouldn't know. Like if you guys have more insight on that, what you guys think. But we do know that there's gonna be a film. Kevin said it in the AI. Said like, yeah, we'll save that for the film. Same thing when he brought up about the X Men. That was something that was huge for a lot of fans, huge for a lot of the MCU, because it just more concrete evidence that the X Men are on its way. We are definitely waiting on it, and we cannot wait for that to finally happen, because that's gonna open up a whole new universe, besides like the X-Men. And then that means we're gonna have more of Wolverine, and it'll be sweet if we finally get like a Wolverine versus Hulk. And just like how we're gonna have a Deadpool 3, which is gonna have Wolverine, which is gonna be so dope. It's gonna take some time, 2 years from now, But and speaking of 2 years from now, I know also with General Thunderbolt, we're going to be having like a Thunderbolt squad, which is gonna be happening in 2024 as well. And due to General Thunderbolt, we're gonna have Harrison, which is confirmed now, which I hope it does happen. We have Harrison Ford, who's going to be playing as General Thunderbolt, and also he's gonna be replacing William Hurt, who rest in peace, passed away, which he did a great job as General Thunderbolt. But besides General Thunderbolt, we're also going to be getting Ghost, Baron Zemos. We're going to be getting the Red Guardian. We're going to be getting John Walker, aka U.S. Agent. And plus, we're going to be also getting the Taskmaster. Master. And finally, we're going to be getting the leader, which is Countessa Valentina. So that is going to be dope because that's going to be like a MCU version of the Suicide Squad, which is saving all of the bad people or like saving all of the I guess they're all like the villains in the story, but you're gonna have which is gonna be all government property, which is gonna be sick because then like if we get that, like is that gonna be kind of like in the rated R kind of style? Because that would be sick if it is, and it should be. You have a bunch of villains who don't really care, but they're gonna go out and do a bunch of like crazy missions. So that would be very cool to finally watch that, which is gonna happen within 2 years. It is gonna happen 2 years from now. A lot's gonna happen within the timeline. There's also a lot of talk about you know about Civil War II, about so it's gonna be nuts. And I think that's the reason why they're introducing so many different characters before they bring in the Civil War II, because we definitely want to be able to have a lot of characters and not just like the first, like the Avengers. So you want to have a bunch of different new characters all in it. And then we have Sonia Pantoja, who also commented. Also, I hope you are excited for my birthday coming up on December 24th, afternoon, Halloween, and Thanksgiving in 2 months. Yes, we're really happy. Like I said, we are going to be doing a review on Hocus Pocus 2. I've already watched it and definitely enjoyed it. I watched it with my kids and they loved it. We actually watched it, I would say, about 3 to 4 times already, which is basically right now because of the Halloween spirit. We are definitely enjoying it. So we will be doing a review, which with Aubrey Freely. And that is going to be basically dedicated to you. So thank you so much, Sonia, for jumping on and being a part of our live. And we definitely appreciate you being here with us and you commenting. And definitely for your birthday, we will be doing a happy birthday song for you. So make sure to tune in on the 24th. We already marked it down on the calendar, so it will be happening. And yeah, other than that, happy Halloween as well to you. And hope, and even though Thanksgiving is around the corner, we definitely want to already say, happy Thanksgiving, early Thanksgiving to you as well. So, but yeah, other than that, we're gonna have the suicide. We're gonna have as far as the new Suicide Squad, aka which is with the Thunderbolt Squad, which is gonna be dope. We also one thing I did wanted to bring up, if you guys remember on episode 1, where this was it the Sakaar I think it's the Sakaar ship, spaceship, showed up on episode 1. That's basically what caused the accident where the gamma ray blood went on Jen, and that's how she transformed. There's what I was talking to Aubrey Freely last night about was that there's the possibility that the reason why that happened, that whole spaceship that went in there, was basically to tell Hulk, hey, something's going on in the planet Sakaar. You need to come. Because if you notice, I think on episode, I don't know if it was episode 1 or 2, he ends up taking off and he's in a spaceship. He's on the Sakaar spaceship. He's leaving to Sakaar, and what do you know? He actually comes back from that planet with his son. What happened to that planet? Who knows? Maybe something's gonna happen in that film, and it might happen to where As far as maybe that home planet of his maybe got destroyed, and he's gonna end up coming back with him, or who knows what's gonna happen. But I do know that Sakaar is a very powerful, far by one of the strongest, by far. He's more stronger than the Incredible Hulk, or with Hulk, or Smart Hulk, as far as it is. Um, and I know that as far as that in the comics, or in the comics, he was basically like a villain, but also helped out Hulk as well. So he was like a he basically does his own, basically, in a way. So that was really interesting to finally get a little bit more info, and I do hope that he comes out more often, and I want to be able to see exactly how his powers, how strong he really is, or how strong they make him out to be. um, you know but let me know what you guys think about Scar. Like, what do you guys think about that? Just quick, it was just like all a plot twist at the end. Like, hey, everybody, welcome here. This is my son. Like, all of a sudden, he just comes in, and his son's already like, he looked like a teenager. Like, so that's kind of the question. Like, what happened through all that time? How did he go to that planet? And how did he meet the princess, where he ends up having to have that kid? As far as my understanding, he ends up having the kid with what was her name? Princess. Let me go ahead and go through this here. I forgot her name already. Jesus, just having a brain fart here. Oh, from Princess Kyra or Kyra, something like that. So that if you guys actually like do a little research on that, then you guys kind of find out she was very powerful as well. And how did they meet? That's basically that interests me. At this point, I want to be able to find out. Red Pill Trooper, what's up? How's it going, my man? Welcome. I see we haven't seen you in a couple of live streams that we had, but welcome. Thank you so much. We are happy to have you here today. I have here his comment, which he wrote: "The final episode was the final nail in the coffin." Breaking the fourth wall was slowly used so that the writers don't take blame on how bad the show was. Like I was saying earlier, Red Pill Trooper, yeah, overall I gave it still like a four, maybe like a five and a half out of 10, and that's just because Matt Murdock really came out in the last two episodes. And I do hope that Matt Murdock, they make a really great show from him. I didn't like the fact that in the last episode they just brought him in and he just was just She-Hulk's like ragdoll whenever she wants to just hook up with him. I definitely didn't like that, and it was just a trip. Um, but it seems like they have a thing going on. Will that continue? I highly doubt it. But what did you think, Red Pill Trooper? Like, what you think about like the whole Matt Murdock coming on the last episode? Didn't really do shit. All he did was just came in because Kevin ends up putting him in, all because she wants to get a little side time with him. Um, that was just kind of defamed him a little bit in a way. I know this show's hopefully this show's gonna be really great when his show comes out. But yeah, I mean, second season. I hope if they ever do a second season, which there's a lot of talk about that they might actually do a second season. If there is a second season, I hope they change the writers. I hope they change everything overall about it. You know, and then Red Pill Trooper also added adding Kevin was taking a jab at him. Yeah, I agree with you. The person solely responsible for shunning Jessica Gao. Yep, because the fact that they put her on there, and they're basically, you have She Hulk going and talking about like, hey, let's change like as far as the finale, let's change. They should have changed the whole show overall, like from second episode all the way to episode, I would say 8, because episode 8 and 9, in my opinion, were at least decent, was well enough to be interesting enough to watch, but not enough to say, damn, this show is badass. Like I can name a lot of good shows that were badass shows that I was like I can rewatch. This show, not so much. It's a one-time run, and the only reason we did the whole show was because we've already started. We've been going at it with each episode, but it's not something that I would be saying, hey, I want to go back and rewatch this so I can take down some notes, maybe catch some Easter eggs or catch something there that might pique my interest. Because overall, you have to bring Shang-Chi, you have to bring in Matt Murdock, you have to bring in different characters to be able to, quote unquote, give it a reason to make it a decent show. But if you took all of that away, what are you gonna have? You're not gonna have anything great to offer, and the ratings would go so bad that they would just completely just shut it all off, you know. So, in my experience, they needed to basically add a MCU character on each episode to justify that episode, you know, and but let me see. Red Pill Trooper also added her tweets and interviews demonstrate how much she didn't care about respecting the IP or the fans. Yeah, I didn't actually read her tweets because I don't really jump onto Twitter, but I am gonna look it up. You know, I'm gonna definitely see and see exactly, but yeah, I know for a fact like there was no real work put onto the show. Like there wasn't really a lot of emotion into the show, and you can tell by each episode, man. Like especially episode 6, that was just complete garbage. Like overall, that was just a terrible way to put it. I mean, you would figure Marvel, with all of the shows and all of the films that they put a lot of money into, like you would have each episode that has well worth. Like they would put their sweat into it. And this show, you kind of don't get that. And you would hope that, hey, you know, especially being an all women power, you know, trying to empower women, you'd want to give it the best that you can. Because there's a lot of talk that they say about this show and about, like, it's a topic that we don't want to go into because we definitely don't want cancel culture and we definitely don't want to be looked at as feminism. Let's just leave it at we're just gonna go ahead and say they could have put a lot more energy into that. They could have made it the best show. Like, you know what? I definitely want to rewatch this show 2, 3 times. Not only because of She-Hulk that looks badass, but because it definitely it shows that you can have an all women's show and make it that badass instead of making it all about twerking and making it look about like what the show was basically for. You know, like there was so much that they could have done and added and made She-Hulk look like the person that she really is. Instead, they kind of just put her down, and that's kind of what kind of bothers me a little bit because it's like, dude, you have a great opportunity, and I hope that they don't really, with other shows, future shows, that they don't try to take this kind of concept. I hope that they change it and they learn from this, and then say, hey, let's move on and do something different. But now we know what doesn't work, you know, because this definitely did not work. And I know Red Pill Trooper, ever since the second, third episode you jumped on, you were like, nah, I'm done with this show. I'm done with this show. Um, I was done by like the sixth episode. I was like, all right, you know, I'm done with this. After the sixth episode, to me that was the nail in the coffin. But Aubrey Freely was the one who told me like, dude, just jump on. Let's finish it. We're almost there. We thought it was only 8 episodes. It turned out to be 9 episodes that was on there. So yeah, that in itself was just pretty wild. You know, to go through this whole show. And it definitely was painful. Some of these episodes, I was like, wow, man. I thought it was gonna be like a new leaf that turns and just takes off and says, "Dude, let me show you now what we can really do as writers." And that definitely didn't happen. Red Pill Trooper also commented, "Breaking the fourth wall is not cool. Is not woke. Is not woke. It ruins the fantasy, and in the case, nothing about She-Hulk made sense." It makes the show pointless. I agree with you. I agree with you 80%. Fourth wall breaking, I personally think that's pretty cool, but you have to do it in a good way. Like Deadpool, for example, when he does that, that's pretty cool. Like if for example, they do end up bringing Gwenpool, aka the Pink Slayer, I do hope that they actually do it in a way that it's badass, not like She-Hulk style. Because if it is, that's just gonna be another waste of fictional character there. Because at this point they just wasted a whole character there, and I honestly just think that this show was pointless. We were trying to see what's gonna connect the dots with the whole MCU. What's gonna make this show so important? Kind of like Wanda and Vision, Wanda and Vision, and what was it? What's the other show? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like all of these other shows has a good point to a part of the actual film. This kind of seems like a filler, and it's not even like a good filler either. Red Pill Trooper also said She-Hulk potentially was wasted. Yeah, but her potential was wasted. I agree with you 100% there. It was definitely wasted. Now it makes her look weak. It makes her look like she is not really like the superhero that she's supposed to be meant to be. Especially in the episode, she kind of claims like, "Hey, I'm not a superhero." Okay, you don't want to be a superhero. Matt Murdock told her, "Well, just do what you gotta do in the daytime." But those who fall in the slip through the cracks of the justice system, that's what you got gifted these powers for. You got gifted to become a Hulk, to be able to do what the system fails to be able to prosecute them for, if they're guilty of that is. But yeah, She-Hulk in the comics is badass. She-Hulk on the MCU, what a waste of dollars. Dollars, dollars, dollars. Well, I'm sure that they're gonna make it all up in the next shows or films that are gonna be coming out. Like that is what's gonna end up happening. I really do hope that if they make a second season, that they completely change it to where it becomes a lot better. I want to see those ratings be like, damn, this actually changed everything. Like it changed the game, because the writers are new and they have way better creativity, especially when it comes down to like trying to be a funny show, like a comedian show. Like you want to at least have some really good punchlines, not have some that are like not even funny. Like then that's what a lot of people were taught. A lot of YouTubers were also talking about that, saying like, dude, just wasn't like the best for me. And some enjoyed it, respectfully. That's cool. Some enjoyed it. Some loved it. But majority of the fans and majority the real fans actually were like, nah, man, like this kind of sucks. And Red Pill Trooper, you're one of them. You're like, hey, you know what? This kind of was not what I thought it was gonna be, and that's exactly what I thought. The exact same thing. At the end, it just wasn't like what I thought it was gonna be. Definitely though, and then that's crazy because also for those that do actually enjoy it, it kind of sucks that they get blowbacks from their fans or get blowbacks from other um, viewers saying, "Oh, you're a sellout. You're just doing it for the money, blah 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 blah, to make Disney happy." Like, dude, that kind of sucks. That people have to go through those that really enjoyed it, but everybody has and are entitled to their own opinion. So that was it. That's basically the overall like the episode itself. The show, I definitely didn't really enjoy it. Like I said, there was only 3 episodes. The first episode, the only reason I enjoyed the first episode was just because the way that Hulk or Bruce and Jennifer kind of were engaging, that in itself was cool. It kind of brought back like it made me feel in a way like when I was watching Spider Man, when you have all 3 Spider-Mans just engaging with each other, like that in itself is once in a lifetime, kind of in a way, to be able to see that. And here you also have Bruce and you have She Hulk and or Jennifer when they were going through that, and that was just like a really cool moment at that moment. But then everything just went south, let's just say. Um, and it just I thought every episode was gonna be just like that. So, but when I saw Matt Murdock, Daredevil, see, I watched all the Daredevils, the Netflix, all the canon ones. So I really enjoyed watching Matt Murdock, watching his new outfit was just badass, and just solidifies it more that, just wait till his show comes out. And I want to see exactly how it's gonna happen. I know Kingpin's gonna come back. I know all this is gonna happen, so I'm really interested to see how Disney turns that, and as far as turns the Netflix series into a Disney series. And I do hope if they put a lot of money into it, it better damn well be worth it. So but other than that, there's really not much more about this episode. This just definitely wraps up the whole season. Red Pill Trooper, I'm sure that you're glad that it's finally over. Just the same as I am. So I just wanted to go ahead and thank each and every single one of you guys for watching our live reviews. We are going to be posting our reaction videos, so you guys will be able to see those as well. Aubrey Freely currently is probably getting off of work at the moment, so he's probably driving home. And so shout outs to our editor, Aubrey Freely. Woo! Unfortunately, he's not able to make it here today, but I will go ahead and take over. I'm also going to be doing the reaction video to Andor. Now, Red Pill Trooper. I don't know what I know what you said about the show. I would say I heard that this episode here, the last episode, was really a good episode. So I'm gonna be doing a reaction video. Don't spoil it for me. Let me watch it and we'll talk about it in the review. I do hope you jump on the review, because I really enjoy having you in our live reviews. It definitely is. It's awesome to have you, man. And thank you so much for joining us, dude, and for engaging with us. It kind of makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself. So, but other than that, dude, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Oh, Red Pill Trooper said, at least Andor got better. Yay! Awesome. Sweet. All right. Good. Ah, man. I can't wait to watch this episode. What made you change this mind? It has to probably be with this episode here. So I know it was the last two episodes was just all about building up to this episode here. So I want to see exactly what the whole thing is all about. But dude, there you go. Awesome high five, dude. Sweet. Thank you so much, Red Pill Trooper. We definitely do appreciate you, man. Like when we're doing the live, I mean, because our goal is to build the live, um, all of our live shows to build them up so that way we get a lot of engagement from a lot of, viewers, a lot of fans here because we do have big plans for the channel itself. We do have a lot of future projects we're going to be working on, and definitely we enjoy the people that stick around, and those are the kind of people that we definitely like to give shout outs to. So big shout outs to Red Pill Trooper for being a part of this as well. We definitely thank you so much, my man. Also want to thank all of our crown knights. Thank you so much, Invincible, and also to Jason Beltran for being a Patreon member since day one, man. You guys are amazing to be able to help us out. That definitely helps us out a lot with what we're looking to invest our money into. We definitely do have a lot of future projects coming up. And also, now that we're done with that, we do have a couple of announcements. We will be doing LA Comic Con at the end of the year. And so, if you guys are in LA, Orange County, anywhere in the area, you guys are going to be going to LA Comic Con, make sure to look for us. We will be there. Aubrey Freely and our boy, they're going to be dressed as RPV, which is Resident Evil. They're going to be like the Resident Evil costume outfits. I'm going to be, aka Andor. I'm going to be Cassian. So that's going to be my outfit. So look out for us. We will definitely be there. We're gonna be doing the cosplay this time, and we're gonna be going, definitely balls in on this. So, if anybody's out, make sure to look for us. Say hi. We'll definitely want to be able to take some pictures, and we're gonna be doing some videos, which we'll be posting on here because we basically what we did is we merged Crown Gambit lifestyle and Crown Gambit. We put them all together so that way we will be separating so the videos. So for those that want to see like the lifestyle, because we have a lot of videos we're gonna be working on, like Universal Studios. We can't wait till we're gonna be there on the first day, where the new Super Mario, um, Theme World is gonna open up. We're gonna be there the first day, so we can record that. We already have a lot of film from all the other rides, from all of the theme park itself. Next, we're actually gonna be doing the actual Horror Nights. Hopefully, we can actually pay. It's expensive, by the way, to get the little flash pass or that fast pass to be able to go through it. But we have to do it if we're gonna be able to get through every single maze. I heard that it's very good, so I definitely want to be able to do that. We're going to be able to film that as well, so that way we can show everyone, people that don't live in California, people that don't live in in other states that has Universal Studios, like Orlando, where they can actually kind of see that themselves. We're also been filming Disneyland and Six Flags as well, so that we are going to be putting those kind of videos as well as some of our lifestyle videos that we go through as well. So look out for that as well. Car shows. We're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff, so that way you guys can engage with us and basically see what our lifestyle is as well. And we're gonna be separating them but putting them together in this channel as well. So make sure to look out for that as well, because we have big plans with that as well. But let me see. Red Pill Trooper also wrote. Let me see. You'll pick more viewers soon. You have tons of great words to say. Thank you so much, Red Pill Trooper. This means a lot to us, especially to me as well, because I'm doing this by myself right now. I definitely don't have Aubrey Freely, so it's someone that can definitely pick up where when I'm like having these little brain farts, I'm like, what do I say now? So having you around definitely makes it seem like I'm talking to someone as opposed to just talking to the camera and seeing if people are watching and hoping that they engage with us. So that really means a lot to us, and it definitely makes us worth keep pushing forward on this, because we've gone through a lot. So if you guys haven't watched our monetization video, make sure to watch that so you guys can see our story behind the background of Crown Gambit, of how we started, how it took us maybe like 3 to 4 times of applying to get monetized to finally get accepted. Then after a few months of being accepted, we got demonetized, and us having to go through that again, that whole heartache of, damn, we got demonetized. Let's try again, and then getting rejected 3 to 4 times until we finally almost threw in the towel and say, you know what, let's just throw in the towel. And in this episode there, and so, hopefully you guys can watch that and see what our experience was, and then you guys can see why we pushed hard on this now. So, but thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'm not gonna waste much time because I am gonna be doing the reaction video of the last episode of Andor. So I really am excited for that, and make sure to stick around because I actually might be doing a live review, not today, but I will be possibly doing it with Aubrey Freely. So we'll probably be doing the live review on the last episode and on this next episode that's going to be coming out tomorrow. So right now we've just been going through a couple of difficulties as far as scheduling and things like that because of work. We both work, so it just kind of makes it hard because our schedules are different. So, but we will be definitely doing a review on that. If not, then I'll possibly will just do it by myself. But yeah, if I can have him around, that would be pretty cool. So you guys can see our different opinions on what we think about the episode and the show itself. And we love for you guys to actually jump on as well and give us your thought of opinion as well, because that's basically what we're here for, is to have discussions and to kind of just hear everybody each other out respectfully, whether you like it or not. We all are just here just to engage and to have a great time as well. So with that being said, I am going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And it is finally over. She-Hulk is done. Rest in peace. And I do hope that there isn't any more. But if there is, I hope everything is changed up completely, where we can be like, all right, now we can have a real good discussion. But other than that, thank you. Rest in peace indeed. Exactly, Red Pill Trooper. Yep, rest in peace indeed. Hopefully, if they wanted to continue with that same crap, get it out the way, man. We'd rather watch something different. Put that time into something else, But if they do change it up and they finally make it like this is what we're gonna do now, and change the whole script around, and I'd say like a whole 360, then bring it on, But other than that, get it out the way. So with that being said, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoy this, make sure to like it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't had a chance to subscribe. And make sure to tune in onto our other videos, especially our reaction videos, our chain reaction videos. Those are amazing. I know Aubrey Freely has been working hard and relentless on these chain reactions because we are going to be having Mandalorian season 3. So by then, he wants to pump out all of the chain reactions so we can just focus on Mandalorian and also work on like Book of Boba Fett, work on Kenobi, work on all these other shows. I know as far as Andor as well. I mean, the way that it's heading to, I do hope that it comes out really good show that they can make more seasons out of it. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to also join our Patreon. Become a member today. Or buy us a cup of coffee. We'll have the link below. Other than that, peace out, you guys. And thank you so much, Red Pill Trooper, for joining in and helping us out. Appreciate you. Much love. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace!